day to all the level 4 employment students. I'll give you some information about the next speaking assessment, which will be a presentation. Here it is. We'll send this to you anyway. But your job is to choose a New Zealand company that you are interested in and give an 8 to 10 minute presentation. Usually this would be done in the classroom, and you would be using the large smartboard and using PowerPoint or something like that. But due to the home-based COVID-19 situation, we want you to use the slides and record it via Meets, exactly as I'm doing right now. Hopefully you'll see the main screen and then a small face on the side there. So the goal is to use appropriate staging language. So my name is Darren. I'm going to talk about Air New Zealand. My talk will have 4 parts. First, I'll talk about this. Then I'll talk about that. I'll conclude by talking about blah, blah, blah. Okay, so those are some staging language features. First, next, after that. And things like smiling, gestures, non-verbal strategies. So I want you to think of a company. Think about what it does or produces, a brief history of the company, and then choose some aspects which are relevant to the company you choose. Things like innovation, marketing, customer service, environmental issues, employment issues, future plans, etc. And maybe something about the COVID-19 situation for your company. We'd also like you to present a graph or data table showing some relevant information to the company. Okay, and usually we'd have a brief question and answer session. We won't be able to do that live, of course. And of course, anything else which is relevant. All right, so what I suggest for you is to choose a company which has a bit of presence online, so you can do some research. So a larger company would be better. For example, ice cream, Tip Top is a big company and has a big story. Okay. Also, a company which makes something or produces something might be easier to describe than a company which provides a service, like legal services or accounting. Okay. Just as far as presenting that clearly might be easier if there's a tangible product to see. So your job is to think about it this weekend, start thinking about it. Next week, week 11, is to lock in your chosen company and then let your teacher know. Once you've locked it in, you can start doing a bit of research, you can start preparing your slideshow and everything. And then to submit week 12 on Friday at the latest. Here are some ideas for some companies, food-based. Look around your kitchen at your house, think about the food you eat each day, or when you go to the supermarket, just have a look at some of those products. A lot of them will be New Zealand companies, and a lot of them will have very interesting stories that you won't know about, and neither will your classmates. So you'll be learning, and then everyone else can learn something too. So for example, looking there at Hubbard's cereals, interesting fact here, Dick Hubbard, who's the creator of that company, used to be the mayor of Waitakere City before it amalgamated and became the super city. So a bunch of companies there to have a look at. Could be something drink-based, a lot of wine companies, beer companies, some milk companies, of course, coffee, clothing and textile. So some companies you might not realize started in New Zealand, like Kathmandu, okay, the clothing and outdoor company. All right, so just check with your teacher though to make sure that the company is a New Zealand company and is not something which is like a multinational which has some shops in New Zealand. Okay, something like Vodafone, it's no good, or don't know, the North Face for clothing or something. Okay, so yeah, just check that with your teacher. We want to have a good New Zealand story. Now, some New Zealand companies, in fact, many New Zealand companies started local, started in New Zealand, expanded abroad, and then have since been sold to a multinational or another company abroad. So yeah, Kathmandu is an example of that. So that's still okay. Most of the story is based in New Zealand. Another example might be Fisher and Paykel dishwashers and washing machines. Again, great New Zealand story, but since sold to Haier, the Chinese eyewear maker. Okay, so these are just some ideas. If you've got a better idea, then that's fine. That's great. So here we are, week 10, today, Friday, perhaps, or the weekend. You're getting some basic information, all right? Next week, you will be, probably me, I'll be making a slideshow how to put together slides and how to video and make the recording, okay? It's not very difficult. All of this I've learned in the last couple of weeks since we've moved to home-based learning. We'll also be using Benchmark Unit 12 next week, which is about presenting your business idea. And that's just got a lot more of that staging language, which we want you to use to introduce yourself, introduce your company, introduce your talk, those things, all right? And then the following week, we will submit by Friday. Okay, I hope that's for everyone. So week 11, this will be the main work, but we'll also be doing a reading assessment as the main assessment next week. And this presentation will be submitted the following week, week 12. Okay. So thank you very much for your time. And I'd just like to say thank you for doing all your work. Don't speak online. Keep up the good work. Good job.